Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. In the previous class, we have completed our first sum from exercise 1.6. Today, we are just going to continue with our exercise 1.6. That is, we are going to deal with the second sum. So before we go to sum number 2, you have to follow some rules that already we have studied in the previous classes. So let's see the different rules that has to be followed for checking the consistency of solution. The first rule is, if rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. Here n denotes the number of unknowns, and you know how to find out the number of unknowns. So if you have the variables x, y, z in a linear equation, we say the number of unknown is 3. So if you have rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. So what type of system we get over here? We get a consistent system with unique solution. What is the meaning of unique solution? We have one value for x, we have one value for y, and we have one value for z. Okay, done. Now let's go for the second rule. What does the second rule says? If rank of A is equal to rank of AB is less than n. If rank of A is equal to rank of AB is less than n, we say the system is consistent. What about the system? It is going to be consistent and it may have infinitely many solutions. Just keep this in your mind, children. Okay, so if rank of A is equal to rank of AB, and if this is less than n, the system is consistent and it may have infinitely many solutions. And under infinitely many solutions, you have two cases. That is, you may get one parameter family of solutions, or you may have two parameter family of solutions. So according to the ranks, we determine this parameter. And let's go for the third rule and the last rule. If rank of A is not equal to rank of AB, we say the system is inconsistent and it has no solutions. Keep the rules in your mind so that it becomes very, very easy to solve the second and the third type of questions. So we get here, the system is inconsistent and it has no solution. Those are the rules, very important rules to be followed. Okay. And now let's move for sum number 2. Take down sum number 2, children. So take down your classwork. Write down today's date. Write down question number 2. Find the value of k for which the equation kx minus 2y plus z is equal to 1, x minus 2ky plus z is equal to minus 2, x minus 2y plus kz is equal to 1 have no solution, unique solution, infinitely many solutions. Okay, just take down the questions properly, children. So we are just going to apply the rules and we are going to get the answer. So here in this question, there is question number 2, 4 things are there. That is, you are going to find out 4 different things. First one is you are going to find out the value for k. And if the value for k you find is correct, the remaining thing goes out automatically. We are just going to choose the correct value and you are going to find the remaining parts. But if the first part goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So you have to be very, very careful when you are finding the value for k. Is it clear, children? Okay, so let's write on the question. I hope you would have taken the question. I'll just write on the equation on the board. Kx minus 2y plus z is equal to 1. X minus 2ky plus z is equal to minus 2. X minus 2y plus kz. X minus 2y plus kz is equal to 1. Okay. So we have these equations. The three equations are there. One is kx minus 2y plus z is equal to 1. X minus 2ky plus z is equal to minus 2. X minus 2y plus kz is equal to 1. Okay, just we are going to follow the steps that we have followed for our sum number 1. So what is the first thing we have done over here? Just number of unknowns. Just don't worry about the term k. That is what we are going to find. K is the coefficient of x over here. So k will be not considered as unknown. You have to just take the number of unknowns as x, y, z. That is total as 3. Here, number of unknowns is equal to 3. Okay. Next step, the matrix form of the system. The matrix form of the system is Ax is equal to B, where we know how to write the matrix A. Yes. Write the matrix X and write the matrix B. Come on, do it. Fill the matrix A, fill the matrix X, and also the matrix B. Do it. I hope you have taken down the value for A, X, and B. Okay, what is the value for A, children? Let's go on filling. Yes, first is K minus 2, 1. 1 minus 2k, we are just focusing on the coefficients of x, y, z. So do not mix. Do not just get confused. Just you have to take the coefficients of y. Do not get confused with the k terms. Do not get confused. Just it's a coefficient. Z is 1. Coefficient of x is 1. Coefficient of y is minus 2. Coefficient of z is k. The matrix x, x, y, z. For B, take all the constant values. 1, minus 2, 1. So I have just taken on the values. Okay. So now just we are going to apply the elementary row operations over here. Okay. So write down applying elementary row operations. Applying elementary row operations on the augmented matrix AB. On the augmented matrix AB, we get. So this is the statement that already we have done in our previous sums. Okay, so this is not a new step to you. So just go on completing this works. So now we are going to get a new matrix, that is augmented matrix AB. Let's get the work done. So I'll just write here AB. You're just going to bring A matrix and B matrix together. So let's write down. So K minus 2, 1, 1 minus 2K, 1 minus 2K. Copy the A and the B together. 1 minus 2, 1. That's all. So we have just taken down the augmented matrix. We know the steps. What are we to do? Remember, always we need. So here already we have a row with the number 1. So what I do is, I try to keep 1 as the first element of the matrix. So here we have 2 ones. So we have to just think wisely and we have to choose a proper row. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to choose the third row, and I'm going to put the third row in place of the first row. So in some cases, you have to just think over wisely, because that's what. So how can you think wisely? The more you practice, the more you become wiser. Okay, children? So we are going to interchange here row 1 and row 3. I'll just put here row 1 is interchanged to row 3. So I get 1 minus 2k. I'm just interchanging R1 and R3. I'm not going to do any changes to R2. So keep that in your mind. And R3 comes in place of what that? That is the R1 comes in place of R3. So I get here 1 minus 2. So it's k minus 2, 1. And the second row remains the same, 1 minus 2k, 1, and 1 minus 2. I hope the step is clear to you children. What are we doing? We are interchanging row 1 and row 3. So that I get 1 as the first element. You may ask, ma'am, oh, 1 is there in R2 also. Why are you not interchanging 1 and 2? If we interchange 1 and 2, it's right, there's no problem, because every time we just cannot remember all the steps. So sometimes we have to just apply our own calculations, yes children. So we can just follow by interchanging 1 and 2. But if we do R1 and R3, that is if we interchange R1 and R3, the calculation goes on very easy. Okay, you get an easy calculation part. So for that purpose, we are changing R1 and R3. Okay children, you may try by changing R1 and R2. Not at all wrong, it's your wish. You can do it. No problem. Okay, so now I have interchanged R1 and R3. That is, I have written R3 as R1 and R1 as R3. Done. Now, what is the next step we are going to do? I have brought 1 over here. So now I have to make the element below 1 as 0. So these two numbers have to be made 0. So I have to change R2 and also we have to change R3. So let's change R2. So changing R2 is an easy job. We can just subtract it, yes? So R2 is changing as R2 minus R1. How is the R2 changing as? R2 is changing as R2 minus R1. Okay, now let's go for the next conversion. What do you have there? You have K. So in place of K, I want 0. So what are you going to do? So you have to write R3 as R3 minus K R1. Yes, instead of K, if you have 5, what you will do? R3 minus 5 R1. Instead of a number, you have a letter over here. What is the letter used here? K. So don't get confused with the letter. The same type of conversion. So R3 is going to change as R3 minus, it's K. So it's K into R1. So K minus K will give you 0. So I am going to change the conversion as R3 changing to R3 minus K R1. I'm just going to apply the conversions and I'm going to get a new matrix. I'll rub this part. I hope you would have written this. Okay, let us do the conversion part. So we get here. First row is not going to do, we are not going to do any changes in the first row. So 1 minus 2k, 1. 1 minus 2, yeah, we have to change R2. So let's apply the conversions. R2 minus R1, 1 minus 1, 0. R2 minus R1, minus 2k, minus minus 2, minus of minus 2. So what you get? Minus 2k plus 2, minus minus plus, minus 2k plus 2. Next, R2 minus R1, R2 minus R1. So 1 minus k. R2 minus R1, minus 2 minus 1. Minus 2 minus 1, minus 3. Okay, next. R3 changes to R3 minus k R1. R3 minus k into R1. So k minus k, 0. K minus k into 1. K minus k, 0. R3 minus k R1. So minus 2 minus k. R1 minus 2. Minus 2 minus minus plus. And k into 2, 2k. So you get minus 2 plus 2k. Minus 2 plus 2k. Last part, 1 minus k into k. Yeah, k into k. 1 minus k into k. K into k gives you 1 minus k square. Then next, 1 minus k into 1. 1 minus k into 1. 1 minus k. So I have just got the conversion. So I have changed R2 and R3. Now just observe the matrix carefully, children. Now I have just got a number, first element as 1. We have made 2 zeros below the number 1. Okay, so now I have to make here 0. If I make here 0, I get a row echelon form. So now just see the numbers here carefully. This is minus 2k plus 2 and this is minus 2 plus 2k. So the numbers are same but with different signs. So you have to just add these two. So if we add the row 2 and row 3, we get the answer as 0. So we are going to change this element as 0. So you remember this step, yes children? So from the first element is 1 and we have made 2 zeros below the number 1. So now what is the first non-zero element of the second row? It's minus 2k plus 2 and you have to make a 0 below this number. So how to make 0 below over here? We have the same numbers or we have the same terms with a different sign. So let's do the changes over here. So R3 is going to change as R3 plus R2. So how are we going to change? So R3 changes to R3 plus R2. So let's have a change. So the first row and the second row remains the same. 1 minus 2k, it's 1. The second row is also going to be the same because we are not going to do any changes over there. 1 minus k minus 3. R3, 0 plus 0, 0. See the changes over here, children? It's minus 2 plus k. I'm adding. So when I add, no need of changing the sign. Keep the sign as it is. Minus 2k plus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 goes off. Plus 2k minus 2k goes off. So you get a term 0 here. Now let's add this part. 1 minus k square plus 1 minus k. Plus 1 minus k. So 1 plus 1, 2 minus k square minus k. So what do you have got there? 2 minus k square minus k. Okay, children? So what I am going to do is, I am just going to try to write this in the form of factor. I am going to factorize it and I am going to write down the values over here. Do not just copy as 2 minus k square minus k. Let's try to factorize and get the answer. So just put your pens down and listen to me carefully, children. Just understand the step properly and then we may move with the next part. So what are we having when we add R3 and R2? So when we add R3 and R2, I get 1 minus k square plus 1 minus k. So I have, when I take the addition of 1 and 1, I get here 2 minus k square minus k. And always try to arrange this in the form of a quadratic expression. So you get k square minus k plus 2. So just arranging in a form of quadratic expression. We never keep the first term as negative. So take the common sign as negative. I'll take minus out as common. So what is left here? K square plus k minus 2. That's all. Okay, children? So now we are going to factorize it and we are going to write in the form of factors. K square plus k minus 2. How are you going to factorize it? See, just I'll put a T method over here. 1 into minus 2 gives you minus 2 and the middle coefficient is 1. So 2 is 1 into 2. I'll write the number 1 and 2. The sum is 1. So I have to put a negative sign for the smaller number. So minus 1 into 2. So what will be the answer? You get the answer as minus is common out. Are you clear with this step, children? How I get this value? I have put a t method, take the coefficient. I am not worried about the negative sign. Negative sign is just taken out. So don't mix up your mind with the negative sign. So you have to multiply the coefficient of k square and the last term. So 1 into minus 2 gives you minus 2. You have to place minus 2 on the top of t. Okay. And what is the coefficient of the middle term? It's plus 1. So I just write plus 1 below t. Now let's take the multiples of 2. That is, you are going to express 2 as a product of two numbers. So I'll write 1 into 2. What is the sum here? The sum is 1. That means the bigger number should be positive. You have to put the sign of this number for bigger number. So what is the sign here? Plus. So for bigger number, what should be the sign? Plus sign. And for the smaller number, you put minus. Because you have here minus 2. So k minus 1, k plus 2. The minus sign is out common. K minus 1, k plus 2. Okay, children, so I'll put there k minus 1, k plus 2. So write down here. You just put it properly. Here I'll just give some space and write. 1 minus 3, k minus 1, k plus 2, your minus sign. So arrange, so write the terms properly one below the other. 1 minus k, 1. K. Here we have 1 minus 3. Okay, what is this? 1 minus k minus 3. So 1 minus k, 1 minus 3 minus 2. Minus 2. Take minus sign common, so you get k plus 2. Minus k plus 2. I hope the calculation is clear to you. We have just used the factorization part. I hope it's clear to you. Yes, children? K minus 1, k plus 2, minus k plus 2. So this is the important step that we have to arrive at. So once this step is correct, everything goes off smoothly. I'll just do a small recap of the last step because you may have a small confusion. Just let's check this step once again, children, because this is an important step, because if we make mistake over here, everything goes wrong, because remaining everything is easy. This part, what is here? We are just doing the addition of two rows. So 1 minus k square plus 1 minus k. I'm just repeating this step again because I'm just saying again and again, important type of question, and this type of questions will be asked for 5 marks. So 1 plus 1 gives you 2. Write the remaining terms, minus k square minus k. I'm just going slow. We are just going out slowly. That's all. Okay. 2 minus k square minus k. So always you remember the rule form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So bring the k square term first. So minus k square minus k plus 2. Don't keep the first term as negative. Take the minus sign out as common. Minus k square plus k minus 2. Okay. So I am going to factorize this term which is inside the minus sign. Do not worry about the negative sign. So put a t method. Coefficient 1 into minus 2, minus 2. Middle sign 1. Factors of 2, 1 into 2. The number sign plus, here minus. You have to take the sign for the bigger number. So I have 1, 2. Here it's plus. Yes, children? So the bigger number should be plus, smaller number will be minus. Simple. You have to just put here k minus 1 and k plus 2. That's all. Work is done. So what I have got here? K minus 1, k plus 2, negative sign which was already present in the first. So minus k minus 1, k plus 2. I hope that step was clear to you, yes, children? Okay, so we have found the expression. So now we are going to find out the value for the first part, second part and the third part. Let's see how to proceed for the sum. Write down the sums. Okay. So let's go for the first sub part of the question. That is, it should have a no solution. Yes? No solution. When you have no solution, if rank of A is not equal to rank of AB. Rank of A and rank of AB should not be equal. If they are not equal, you say that the system is inconsistent and it has no solution. Okay, now here, when we open this roots, what will be the values for K? You may get a value for K as 1. You get a value for K as minus 2. So we have only two values for K to be used. That is, one is, see actually how I say it's 1 and 2. If I take this minus K minus 1, K plus 2 is equal to 0. Now what happens, the minus goes to this side and the minus gets vanished. So minus sign goes off. So K minus 1 is given to 0 and also K plus 2 is equal to 0. So you get the value for K as 1 or you get the value for K as minus 2. So we have to follow these two rules, okay? So K may be 1 or K may be minus 2. You can just do this in your rough column. Take this minus K minus 1, K plus 2 is equal to 0. Minus, when it goes to this side, it vanishes. So K minus 1 is equal to 0 or K plus 2 is equal to 0. So K is equal to 1 or K is equal to minus 2. For the first subpart, that is for no solution, I want the rank of A and rank of A B not equal to, they should not be same, they should be different. Okay. See what happens, I have told you, you have to choose these two choices, you have these two. You can take the value for K as 1 or you can take the value for K as minus 2. So when K is equal to 1. Very simple thing. When K is equal to 1, when I put K as 1 here, if I take K as 1, what happens? This whole thing becomes 0. Listen to me, children. Just put your pens down and listen to me. This is a very, very important step. And this step itself carries 3 marks. So you have just 2 marks for the previous steps. To arrive at this point, you have 2 marks. And for remaining 3 parts, you have 3 marks. So when you get a no solution, see here, I have told you that no solution means rank of A is not equal to rank of AB. Yes, children? So if I put K as 1 over here, the whole term becomes 0. So I get the rank of A as 2. Are you listening to me carefully? So when A is equal to 1, rank of A is equal to 2. And what about rank of AB? This is 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So I get minus 3. And rank of AB is equal to 3. Since rank of A is not equal to rank of AB, the system is inconsistent and has no solution. That's all. I hope the condition is clear to you. So the K is equal to 1. When K is equal to 1, rank of A is equal to 2 and rank of AB is equal to 3. So you get inconsistent system with no solution. Okay, let's proceed for the next subpart. What is the next subpart? The next subpart is for unique solution. So when you have a unique solution, when rank of A, rank of AB and the number of unknown is same. That is, you should have the rank of A as 3, rank of AB as 3 and also the N as 3. Already we have the number of unknowns as 3. So you should have a rank of A as 3 and rank of AB as 3. That means this should not be 0, not be 0, not be 0 and this also should not be 0. So this, when it will be not 0, if K is not equal to minus 2. And when this will be not equal to 0, when K is not equal to minus 1. You getting my point? Okay. So let's write on the statement here. Second one is unique solution. I hope you have taken this part, children. Okay. Take down carefully. Second part, unique solution. I'll say when, see, unique solution means I want the rank of A as 3 and the rank of AB as 3. If I put here minus 2, the rank becomes 2. That is, here I get a 0. So remember, I should not get a 0. So to avoid getting 0, I should not take K as minus 2 and also I should not take K as 1. When K k is not equal to minus 1 and k is not equal to, not 1, yeah, k is not equal to 1 or k is not equal to minus 2, rank of A is 3, rank of AB is 3, which is also, so I say therefore rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. Okay, so the system is consistent and it has a unique solution. See, that's why I told you the rules are important. Once you are clear with the rules, it is easy to apply. This only the thing, you have to just arrive till here. So when you solve here, from this step itself you come to know the value for k. So k will be 1 or k will be minus 2. I told you the minus sign gets cut off because minus goes here. So 0 minus 1, anything divided by 0 is going to be 0. So you have two conditions left, k minus 1 is 0 or k plus 2 is equal to 0. So we have two values, that is k is equal to 1 or k is equal to minus 2. So according to the conditions you have to apply and get the answer. Now third is infinitely many solution. This is very easy. Infinitely many solution. What is the rule, children? Rank of A is equal to rank of B, but it should be less than n. That means the rank of A and rank of AB should be 2. Yes? So it should be 2. So here also I should get 2. Here also I should get 2. So just see the common value so that I get 2. Rank is 2. If I put here minus 2, whereas if I take here as minus 2, this becomes 0. Okay? Okay. Similarly, if I take here minus 2 again, I get a 0 because minus 2, if I put, no need to put both the values. If I put here minus 2, this term also become 0. So when k is equal to minus 2, rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to 2, which is less than 3. Therefore, the system is consistent and has infinite number of solutions. Okay, children, I hope you are clear with the steps. I'll just explain to you once again the different conditions because this is a very important sum. Not only important sum, you have to know all these rules. Okay, listen to me. Listen to the steps carefully. So I hope you have understood till here. I have explained to you this step once again, children. After this, the first thing is for no solution. So when you get a no solution, when rank of A is not equal to rank of B. So this rank should be different and this rank should be different. So if I take k as 1, so if I put here 1, what happens? This term becomes 0. So if this term becomes 0, what is the rank? The rank is 2. So here no, we are not doing any changes here. So rank of AB is 3. So the ranks are different. So you say the system is inconsistent and has no solution. Okay, children? Similarly, coming for the unique solution. When you say the system has unique solution, when rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. So that means I want a rank as 3 and rank is 3. That means I don't want 0 here and I don't want 0 here. If I get 0, 0 means the rank becomes 2. If I get a number here, the rank becomes 3. So I should not take k as 1. If I put k as 1, the term becomes 0. And similarly, if I take k as minus 2, I get this augmented matrix A by B as 0. So don't take k as 1. Don't take k as minus 2. So the system becomes consistent and it has a unique solution. For infinitely many solution, this is the condition. Rank of A is rank of A by B, but it should be less than 1. Simple thing. We want a rank 2 here and we want a rank 2 for AB. So if I put minus 2 for K, I get 0 here. And similarly, if I put minus 2 here, I get 0. So rank of A and rank of A, B becomes 2. but it is less than 3. So we say the system is consistent and it has infinite number of solutions. So we have completed our sum number 2. I hope the sums were clear. We have just done the sums. I have just explained to you some steps again and again. So I hope it's clear to you. Yes, children? Okay. Now let's come to the last sum. The last sum will be a homework. That is exercise 1.6, question number 3 will be a homework. Homework, exercise 1.3, sum number 3. And along with sum number 3, you are going to do solved example 1.34. Solved example. So first you do solved example 1.34. Okay, children. So that last sum, that is the third sum, you have to follow solved example 1.34. So just do 1.34, you will get an idea. And after you get the idea, in the previous case, that is for sum number 2, we found a one unknown value, that is k. And here you have to find out two unknown values, that is lambda and mu. So you have to refer solved example 1.34. Just follow up the solved example and you have to complete the third sum from exercise 1.6. Clear, children? So with this, we complete our exercise 1.6 and we are going to move to a new exercise, that is 1.7. So before we start with 1.7, you have just 2 points to remember. So let's take a note of that 2 points and then we will move to a new exercise. I hope you have completed your sums, children. Okay. Have you taken down your homeworks? Do not miss out your homeworks. You have to submit your homeworks on time. This is very, very important part. Okay. Now just come to page 43. Come to page 43. You can just see over there, you have some dark blue lines. Can you see, children? Yes. So let's read the first statement. By Rauchy-Capelli theorem, any system of homogeneous linear equation is always consistent. So that is for exercise 1.7. Just take your exercise 1.7. It is given in page 47. So you have a question, that is we have a name of an equation as homogeneous equation. Now what is the difference between a normal equation and a homogeneous equation? That is, we have dealt with some equations in exercise 1.6 and also we are going to deal with some equations in 1.7. But you see the difference between these two. In 1.7 you have all the constants to be 0. Just take a note of this, children. Have you seen the difference? In exercise 1.7, you were having a matrix, that is, in the B part we were having some numbers. So it was with some numbers, but in 1.7 we have the B matrix. This is a B matrix, yes? So we have the B matrix to be 0. So such type of equations are called as homogeneous equation, where you have the B matrix to be 0. So that's the difference between a linear equation and a homogeneous linear equation. For homogeneous, the B matrix would be 0. And for other, it may be with any numbers. You may have any constants over there. Okay. So for exercise 1.7, you have to solve the homogeneous equations. And over here, our work is to check whether it has a trivial solution or a non-trivial solution. So what are you going to check in exercise 1.7? You are going to check whether it has a trivial solution. Trivial means whether it has 3 solutions or it's going to have non-trivial solution. So I'll just explain to you in detail about the trivial and a non-trivial. When you say it is having a trivial solution, just see page 43. If the rank of A is equal to rank of AO is equal to n. See the case, children. If rank of A is equal to rank of AO. Now why I am using here AO? Why I am not writing as AB? Yes, I am writing here O because the B matrix is a zero matrix. For zero matrix, I just can put here 0. Instead of writing B, I am using over here 0. Okay. So if rank of A is equal to rank of AO is equal to n, we say the system is consistent and it has a trivial solution. That is, it is going to have a unique solution. Clear, children? It has a unique solution. And if, what's that? If you have a case, rank of A is equal to rank of AB, and if this is less than n, you have to say the system will be a consistent system, but the solution will be a non-trivial solution. For this case, you have a non-trivial solution, and for this case, you have a trivial solution. I hope you are clear with the trivial solution and a non-trivial solution, children. Shall we proceed with the sum? Yes. So 1.6, sum number 3, and solved example 1.34. You have to do these two sums as a homework. Now let's start with exercise 1.7. Let us just complete one sum over here, and then we'll do the remaining part in the next class. So let's start with the exercise. Let's not waste our time. So remember the conditions. Only 2 conditions you have to follow here. I will not have the homework part. This is the important thing to be kept. Yes, children. Exercise 1.7, 1.6. 1.6 third sum and solved example 1.34. 34. Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's start with exercise 1.7. This is, remember the conditions. Rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. Unique, trivial. Rank of A is equal to rank of AB is less than n. It's non-trivial. So 2 things. Okay. Let's go for the first part. They are just saying that solve the homogeneous equation. Simple. Linear equations means you may have the numbers for B matrix. Homogeneous is you have zeros for the B matrix. That's all. Let's continue the work. Here, first I'll write these questions. 3x plus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. 3x plus 2y plus 7z is equal to 0. 4x minus 3y minus 2z is equal to 0. 5x plus 9y plus 23z is equal to 0. This is very easy, some children. Just we are going to follow the same steps that we have followed for our previous exercise. Same manner. You have to just transform the augmented matrix in terms of echelon form, and you are going to get the value for x, y and z. Solving means get the value for x, y and z. Okay. So we have written down the questions. 3x plus 2y plus 7z is equal to 0. 4x minus 3y minus 2z is equal to 0. 5x plus 9y plus 23z is equal to 0. Okay. So first thing is write down the number of unknowns. What are the number of unknowns over here? 3. So write down here number of unknowns is equal to 3. Okay, done. Now the next step, you are going to transform the augmented matrix into echelon form. That on? Transforming into echelon form. Okay, so we are going to transform the echelon form. The augmented matrix becomes, the augmented matrix becomes AO. Okay, here we get AO. Okay, remember the matrix. Here we don't write AB, you have to write here AO. So let's write down the matrix. Okay, let's do the work. So let's write the matrix A. What is the matrix A? 3, 2, 7, 4, minus 3, minus 2, 5, 9, 23. And O is O, yes, O. You have all the B's as 0. So this type of equations are called as homogeneous equations. So just remember, so don't get confused, okay? So if you have, you just can differentiate both the exercise by the constants. If you have a constant, use A by B. If you have a zeros, you use A by 0. Okay. Now, so we have written the value for AO. Now let's go for the next step. So what is the thing? You have to make the first number as 1. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to multiply by, I want the first number as 1. So I'll do here, I'll just go on dividing by 3 here, because other numbers are 4, 5 and they are not the multiples of 3 also. Yes, children? So I just say here, R1 is changing as R1 divided by 3. So you just follow along with me. Already the steps all we have done previously. So we can just move fast. So R1 is changing as R1 divided by 3. So when I divide by 3, I get here 1, 2 by 3, 7 by 3, 0 remains the same, 4, minus 3, minus 2, 0, 5, 9, 23, 0. First step is done. So now we have to change R2 and R3, and I want a 0 over here and I want a 0 over here. That is, we are going to make 0 below 1. So R2 is changing as R2 minus 4R1 and R3 changes to R3 minus 5R1. So what is the changes we are going to do? R2 changes to R2 minus 4R1 and R3 changes to R3 minus 5R1. Let's complete R2 and R3, children. So I'll get here. I'm not changing the first row. So 1, 2 upon 3, 7 upon 3, 0. Let's go for this. R2 minus 4R1. So 4 minus 4 into 1, 0. Minus 3 minus 4, 2 by 3. So minus 3 minus 8 upon 3, minus 9, 3 3s are minus 9, this minus sign is present, minus 9 minus 8 upon 3, minus 17 upon 3, minus 2 minus 4R1, 4R1, R1 7 by 3. So minus 6 minus 28 upon 3, minus 34 upon 3. This is 0. So no problem, no need to worry about this side. It will be 0, 0 only. 0, 5 minus 5, 0. 9 minus 5, 2 upon 3. That's 27 minus 10 upon 3. 17 upon 3. 23 minus 5, 7 by 3. 23 these are 69 minus 35 upon 3. So 34 upon 3. 34 upon 3, 0. I have just done the calculations. You know how to do the calculations. Minus 3, just substitute the values over here. Just see the calculations. Complete the work. Okay, let's go for the next step. So now we have got, we have changed R2 and R3. Now I want a 0 below. This is all working part you have to do, children. Show all the working parts. So I want a 0 over here. Just see, the numbers are same but with a different sign. So R3 is going to change as R3 plus R2. So 1, 2 by 3, 7 by 3, 0, minus 17 upon 3, minus 34 upon 3. 0 plus 0, 0. 17 upon 3 minus 17 upon 3. Since it is a plus sign, no need to change the sign. 0, again 0, 0, 0, 0. So what is the rank here? Rank is 2. What is the rank of AO here? See, for rank of A, what is rank of A here? I'll just write here. Rank of A is equal to non-zero row, 0 row. So rank of A is 2. Rank of AO, the full term, rank of AO is equal to non-zero row, a 0 row. So what do you get here? Rank of A is also, AOA is also 2, yes? 2 zeros. Here we have a 0 row. So 2 and N is equal to 3. N is equal to 3. So rank of A is equal to rank of AO is equal to 2 less than 3. So how is the system? The system is going to be non-trivial. Yes, children, we have seen that it is a non-trivial solution. Because if you have a case rank of A is equal to rank of AO less than N, then we say the system has a non-trivial solution. But here in this case, we are not asked about the different types of solution. They are not asking you the different type of solution. They are only asking you the different values. Anyhow, you can just put there it is a non-trivial solution, no problem. Okay. So write down the condition. What about the consistency? The consistency will be there. It will be a consistent system. So you write down, the system is consistent and it has non-trivial solution. Okay, just write down. Because we know it is a because they have given the condition, if rank of A is equal to rank of A, O less than N, then you say it is a non-trivial solution. Okay, children? Now let's continue the sum. We have to find out the value for X, Y and Z. So let's find out the value. I'll rub this part. So we are going to follow the back substitution. Here we don't have Z value. See, here we have the Z term as 0. So just think we have done this type of sum. So first of all, write the system as equivalent system. So how will be the statement? Write down. Writing equation using equivalent form, or using the equivalent form, write the equivalent system. Using writing the equation using equivalent form. Writing the equation using equivalent form, we get, what is the first equation? X plus 2 upon 3y plus 7 upon 3z is equal to 0. I hope the conversions are clear to you, children. We have taken two cases, yes? Rank of A is equal to rank of AO is equal to N. If you have such a condition, you say it is consistent and trivial. If rank of A is equal to rank of AO is less than N, you say consistent and non-trivial. Clear? Okay. So just we are following these methods. Okay. Next, this is our equation number 1. Second equation, minus 17 by 3y minus 34 by 3z is equal to 0. 2. Last thing, 0 is equal to 0. Yes, we have 0 is equal to 0. Okay. So we are going to take z as equal to t. z is equal to t. Take z is equal to t. So just go for the back substitution. So from 2, I get minus 17 upon 3y minus 34 upon 3t is equal to 0. I'm just substituting the value for z as t. It's a simple thing. This already we have done this type of sum, children. So this will be not a new thing to you. You can just complete the work. So I'm just doing the sum because this is the first type of first sum from homogeneous. So what I get here? So minus 17y upon 3. I'll take this to this side. Minus 34 upon 3t. Try to cancel. 3 goes off. Minus minus goes off. 17 ones are, 17 twos are. So y is equal to 2t. Simple thing. I get the value for y. What is the value for y I get? 2t. See, the calculation is so simple. Minus 17y upon 3 is equal to minus 34 upon 3t. 3 goes, minus minus goes, 17 ones are, 17 twos are. So now from 1. X plus 2 upon 3, 2t plus 7 upon 3, t is equal to 0. So x plus 4t upon 3 plus 7t upon 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 4 plus 7, somewhere any mistakes? Minus 17 upon 3y. Yeah, see, that's what we miss. Minus will turn to plus. So plus. So minus is there. So you have minus here. So minus y is equal to 2t. Therefore y is equal to minus 2t. So minus 2t. So minus 4t. So minus 4 plus 7 is 3t plus 3t upon 3 is equal to 0. X plus t is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus t. Clear? So we got a 3 equation. So first I have taken z as t. So put here z as t. So you get minus 17 upon 3y is equal to 34 upon 3t. 3, 17, 34 and minus is 1, children. We don't have 2 minus sign. When it changes, we have to change the sign. So you get y is equal to minus 2t. So from 1, x plus 2 upon 3 minus 2t plus 7 upon 3t is equal to 0. So x minus 4t upon 3 plus 7t upon 3 is equal to 0. So we have the same denominator. So we can bring the numerators together. 7 minus 4, 3t upon 3. So 3 get cancelled. So x value is equal to minus t. So let's write the final statement. So what is the solution? So write down solution over here. So solution, x is equal to minus t, y is equal to minus 2t and z is equal to t. And it has a 1 parameter family of solutions. Okay, children? So we have completed our sum number. So we have completed our first sum. Okay, children? So let's have a small recap of the statement. So how we have written the statement? So we have taken that it is a consistent system with a trivial solution. It is a non-trivial solution. When you have a trivial solution, if rank of A is equal to rank of AO is equal to n. Here we have a non-trivial solution. And how many parameters we are using here? We are using a 1 parameter family of solution. So just mention here the final statement. Here the system is consistent with 1 parameter family of solutions. That's all. So with this we complete our sum number 1 from exercise 1.7. So the second subpart will be a homework. Exercise 1.7, second subpart. Question number 1, second subpart. Can you try out the sum, children? So I have already explained you the 2 cases, yes? So you have to follow the two cases and you have get the answer. So complete exercise 1.7, question number 1, second subpart. And we have two more sums left over here. That is the second and third sum, which will be done in the next class. So we stop over here, children. We'll continue the sum in the next class.